All right, so I bought the game, Gotham Knights, because I was curious. Because I'm seeing it bashed online. I'm seeing a lot of different people just say how garbage this game is, how it shouldn't exist, how it's nothing like the previous. It's 4 out of 10 game. It's a garbage game. How did this get released? Blah blah blah. So I bought it out of curiosity. I was like, fuck it. I like Batman. Let me see what's going on with this game. I haven't had a real Batman game since 2015 with Arkham Knight, and I went into it with a real low bar before it goes any further. That being said, I'm going to spoil a lot of stuff, or spoil some stuff, nothing crazy. But I'm just going to rant about this. I don't understand the hate. I don't get it. And I didn't cheap out. I didn't like just buy the game. I got the $90 deluxe edition with the Batman Beyond suit because Batman Beyond is one of my favorite things in Batman medium ever because I grew up with it. And on top of that, it's awesome. Plus, fun fact, the older brother from Boy Meets World, Fred, whatever his name is the voice of Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond, which is weird, but whatever. That being said, I don't get this. I don't understand why people are bashing this game. I don't understand why people are complaining about this game. The only real thing I can see is a lot of people keep comparing it to Arkham Knight, and I'm gonna be straight with you. That's bullshit. And the main reason for that is they said from the door it's a separate game. They didn't say, oh, this is the Arkham Knight sequel. This is going to be that game. This is going to be. They said it was different. They said from the door, you're getting an open world Batman RPG with 4 different characters. 4 different characters, I might add, play completely different. They're all awesome. Batgirl is a tank. Red Hood just don't give a crap and he's awesome. Robin is good for groups, and then you have my boy Nightwing. Finally, just doing Nightwing shit. He's very acrobatic and fun. I'm playing the game mostly as Nightwing. I do little side activities. I did the Mr. Freeze stuff with Robin. I did some open world stuff with Batgirl and Red Hood, but primarily I'm playing this game through as Nightwing. And the reason I like this game a lot, and I don't understand the criticism, is from the door it doesn't feel, it feels familiar but different, and that's the first thing. It's not Arkham Knight. It never said it was going to be Arkham Knight. The combat is similar to Arkham Knight. I'll give it that, but to complain that it's bad or boring, I'm not feeling that. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm about 30 hours into this game. Don't understand. Like, I'm 30 hours in, I'm still having fun. So for that alone, I can't say the combat's boring. Another critique I've been seeing online is, oh, the driving feels like it's 30 miles an hour. No, the driving feels like Mario Kart. Let's dial that back again. So again, if we're not complaining about Mario Kart, I don't know why we're complaining about this game. Yeah, I get the filters and that's stupid. It is what it is. It doesn't feel slow. I mean, it feels a little slow, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel boring. It doesn't feel like it's uneventful. Like, I don't get that. I do understand the gliding. Gliding should be a little different. It definitely was a lot better in Arkham Knight. I'll give it to you, but again, it's not Arkham Knight. Like the biggest issue I'm finding with this game is people are complaining it's not another game. That doesn't make sense to me, and the reason it doesn't make sense to me is this is the equivalent of going out and buying Mario Rabbids and then opening it, putting it in your system, and complaining that it's not a platformer. It's never advertised as the sequel. Again, it is a little misleading, where Arkham Knight ends with Batman dying. This game begins with Batman dying, but it's different. It's a different world. It's a different universe. It's a Batman game separate from that. And again, it's not perfect. I'm never going to sit here and pretend this game is my game of the year, a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. No, but for fun, it's fun. It's a fun factor. Now, again, there are some things I'm not going to defend with this game. I don't think the 30 FPS was a good call. Again, if you can't figure out a 60 FPS game on next gen, and from what I've read up on, that might be the Series S fault. That's an issue. I don't think it should have been 30 FPS. I think it should have been 60 FPS. Again, not a deal breaker for me. It doesn't look bad. There is some stutter. There's a lot of stutter in certain parts. That's stupid. They're apparently going to patch it. That's great and all. Shouldn't have been released like that. That's the first point. Second point, the 4-player co-op. I'm a dude in my 30s. I don't have 4 friends. I don't have 4 friends to play this at any given moment of any game. So that's not a given day. That's not a deal breaker for me. I'm gonna be real with you. Should it have been there? Yes. Is it a deal breaker for me? No, it's not what I'm buying this game for. But what it is, and what we need more of, is AA games. Also, going back to the 30 FPS thing, everyone complaining about it. Elden Ring launched at 30 FPS. I didn't hear a single person complaining about that. So stop complaining about things just to complain about them. That's my first. That is just something I want to get out there. Second, I think this game is what we need more of, and that is a double A game. Not every game needs to be perfect. Not every game needs to be God of War Ragnarok. Not every game needs to be this triple A 10 out of 10. Here's $70. Take it. I'm going to sit here and invest hours and hours of my life into it. No, you just want fun sometimes. Another good example of a game like that is Maneater, the Shark PG that came out a while ago. That game, I think, came out at $40. It's a double A game where it was above an indie level, not a triple A. It's just that middle grade, just fun. And that's what I think people aren't understanding. I think if Gotham Knights would have been anything else, if Gotham Knights would have been a Ninja Turtles game, people would have been a lot more forgiving. And it feels like it should have been. I watched a thing where IGN did where they were talking about how the characters should have just been, this whole thing should have just been a Ninja Turtle game. And if you have the PC version and can reskin and retweak dialogue to just make it a Ninja Turtles game, it would fit perfect. So if this would have been anything else, I feel like a lot of the problems would have been looked the other way. But to cancel the next gen, the 30 FPS thing, and to still charge 70, I get why people are mad about it. I do. But the game as a whole is fun. It's just there is a lot of bad steps to get there. I think it's fun. I think it's a great game. I think a lot of people need to understand what this game is before you go into it, because the reality of the situation is people expecting one thing and are getting another, and they're comparing it to the third game of a trilogy where they should really be comparing it to the first. And what I mean by that is this is the building block. So if you go back and look at any first game in any franchise, it's basically like to see what works, to see what doesn't, test the waters, and then go. Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum be a good example of that. With Arkham Asylum, you only had about 4 villains. I think you had Killer Croc, you had Bane, you had Scarecrow, you had Joker, and then you had the Riddler stuff. But the Riddler stuff doesn't count, so you had 4. This game, you have the Court of Owls, Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, and Clayface. See what I'm saying? So if you take what works here and tweak it to get maybe the next one's to Arkham City, where it's bigger Gotham, 4-player co-op from the door, 60 FPS, and a little and more of the villain missions sprinkled in instead of so spread far apart, because there is some filler stuff with the game, but again, it's not bad. I don't understand the hate. I've played bad games. I'll tell you when a game I think is not worth your time or is boring. The Avengers game was god awful. It starts off real strong and then peters out after an hour, and I never put it in my system again. This is a game that starts off strong with the Batman stuff, does a little bit of the RPG thing where there is a grind, there is some stuff like that. Like to get some of the Harley Quinn stuff, you have to interrogate people. You have to do some bullshit side stuff. You have to unlock the glider. There is RPG isms in the game that should not have been there, but it's a give and take thing. Like some people might like that. I personally thought I should have had the glider from the door, and I don't want to have to, in between Harley Quinn or Mr. Freeze missions, go beat up their thugs to get information. I would like to just do the chapter as is. But again, they're trying to pad a runtime. It's almost like Resident Evil 6, where Resident Evil 6, if you would have condensed it, it would have been better. Sometimes less is more. And this is an equivalent of sometimes less is more. They should have been story stuff instead of side stuff. But you're doing a give and take and trying to figure it out. But again, the biggest problem with this game, for the umpteenth time I said in this review, is people wanted Arkham Knight. They want Gotham Knights to be that sequel, and it's not. That's what the Suicide Squad game's hopefully going to be. It's not out at the time of this, but I'll get to that eventually too, because it's been delayed for 1,000,000 years at this point. That's a facetious number, but it's not a bad game. I cannot stop saying that enough. I think more if people actually give it a shot at 40, don't buy it full price and complain to me. $40, game comes out or it's on Game Pass or something, pop it in, play it for yourself, see what I'm talking about, or tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Just let me know what you think about it. At the end of the day, it's just we need to accept sometimes things are as advertised and they're not lying to you, or they're lying to you and it's completely wrong. It's one or the other. Gotham Knights is a case of, we said we're going to do an RPG, not an Arkham game. You got an RPG, not an Arkham game, but everyone wanted an Arkham game. That's what I think it ends up being. Again, the developers did some shady stuff along the way to get there, but the game itself is fundamentally fun. It's a 6, 7 out of 10 game. It's don't pay $90 like I did, but I do recommend giving it a shot. Let me know what you think. Went on a bit of a rant there, but again, I feel like this game is getting a lot of unnecessary hate, and I gotta defend Batman, especially because I finally got a open world Nightwing game in 2022, and that's something I've wanted for years. Yes, I know there's other characters and they're all fun. I've already played as all of them, but I from the door I saw this, I'm like, Nightwing game, and that's also the main reason I can kind of forgive a lot of it is because Nightwing. I'm viewing this as a Nightwing game with the other people there, and what it feels like then is I'm getting a Nightwing game. I'm getting something different. I didn't want to play a Batman skin game as Nightwing. I wanted to play as Nightwing, and that's why I think I forgive a lot more stuff than maybe the other person is when they wanted a Batman game. And that could be the case. I don't know, but let me know what you think. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever the cliche is. Let me know if you bought it. Let me know what you think. But of all else, be good people and have a good one, guys.